Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has to go now. He needs to do it himself. Manchester United got thrashed by Liverpool 5-0 at Old Trafford yesterday. Embarrassing from a Manchester United perspective. After the game, Solskjaer said he's come too far to give up and he's refused to resign. It's just a matter of time now before Solskjaer gets sacked. Solskjaer is not going to win trophies as Manchester United manager. And I just feel as though Solskjaer is in a position that he shouldn't be in. I just feel as though that the expectations are far too high for him to exceed as Manchester United manager. Now, who will be Manchester United's next manager? Obviously, there's been a lot of talks of Antonio Conte coming in. Antonio Conte is the favourite to replace Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Well, recently, Conte demanded to replace Solskjaer at Manchester United. Conte is interested in the Man United job. He said not so long ago that Conte wants a meeting with the Man United board, and he was waiting for a call from Manchester United. Conte is available because he left Inter Milan at the end of last season. And a lot of United fans want Conte in, Conte's got a good pedigree behind him, won a lot of silverware in his home nation, and when he was in his first season at Chelsea, he won the Premier League. So he's managed in the Premier League before, that's beneficial. Now there's also some United fans that want Zinedine Zidane in. Now it recently said that Manchester United are interested in Zinedine Zidane, but the ex-Real Madrid boss is enjoying life away from football management. Not so long ago, reports from Spain said that Manchester United contacted Zinedine Zidane over the recommendation of Cristiano Ronaldo. I'd also take Brendan Rodgers at Manchester United. Now, in regards to Ole, I do feel sorry for him because, revert back to what I've said before, not all of the blame stems from Solskjaer. There's obviously players as well that have got to take responsibility. Like I've said to you, Manchester United have got a very, very good team. But the problem is, we're not playing as a team, we're playing as individuals. Our squad must be worth around £805 million. We've got the best player in the world in Cristiano Ronaldo. Ronaldo should have been sent off yesterday for kicking Curtis Jones. Ronaldo obviously scored, but the goal got ruled out. I think that goal should have stood. You've obviously got Marcus Rashford. That's a good player. Rashford was poor yesterday, but in the 2 games prior to the Liverpool one, he did very well. Rashford played an horrendous back pass yesterday that led to that Salah chance. You know, you've got Mason Greenwood, that's also very, very good. I thought he was our best player yesterday, if I'm going to be honest with you. You've got Edison Cavani, that's good. You've got Bruno Fernandes, that's good. He obviously played against Liverpool yesterday, had a very good chance early on, but he skied it. Should have done much better with that. You know, you've got Sancho, that's good, but he's enjoyed a poor start to his Manchester United career. Sancho didn't play yesterday. But when Solskjaer's played Sancho, you know, he's played him out of position, and obviously he's being criticised for that. But with how poor Sancho's been, there has been Manchester United fans getting on his back. You know, you've got Donny van de Beek, that's a good player, but he doesn't get in the team, so I haven't really had much of a perception on him at Manchester United. You know, you've got Paul Pogba, that's also very good. Pogba obviously played yesterday against Liverpool. Well, he came off the bench, he didn't start. I can't understand why Solskjaer didn't start him. Pogba got sent off for a two-footed challenge on Naby Keita. And you've obviously got, you know, Luke Shaw, good left back, but he's been out of form so far this season. Where was the Luke Shaw from last season? Because last season Luke Shaw was superb. You've got to say Luke Shaw was accountable for what? 2 of Liverpool's goals yesterday. You know, you've got Harry Maguire. He's good when he wants to be, but he's been abysmal so far this season. And I've got to say Maguire was accountable for 2 of Liverpool's goals yesterday. Obviously Liverpool's second goal was obviously a tussle between Luke Shaw and Harry Maguire that led to the goal. You've obviously got Raphael Varane, that's a good centre-half, but he's out at the moment with a groin injury. He's out for a few weeks. You know, you've got Eric Bailly, that's a decent centre-half, but he doesn't get in the team now, obviously with us signing Raphael Varane in the summer transfer window. Plus, for some reason, Solskjaer prefers Lindelof ahead of Bailly. You know, you've got Anwan Bissaka, that's also a good right-back as well. Yesterday played against Liverpool, started the game pretty well, but then as the game went on it was poor. Looked off the pace. And you've got De Gea, that's a very, very good goalkeeper. De Gea was blameless for the goals yesterday. He did make, 3 good saves in the game to deny Salah, Firmino and Trent Alexander-Arnold. And obviously we've got Dean Henderson, that's a good goalkeeper as well. Dean Henderson's only been in goal for 1 game this season. That was the game against West Ham in the Carabao Cup. Don't forget Henderson was out with COVID for a long time. But there is inconsistent players at Man United. You know, you've obviously got Matic, that's not good enough. You've got Fred, that's not good enough. You've got McTominay, that's not good enough. You know, Lingard isn't good enough, but Lingard doesn't really get in the team anyway. Martial's not good enough, he's another one that doesn't really get in the team. You know, Lindelof's not good enough. Maguire, he's not good enough at the moment. So there you go. But Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has run out of excuses, like I said to you before. Because, like I've said to you already, Manchester United have got a very good squad. Plus Solskjaer received very good backing in the summer transfer window. Obviously, John Murtough backed him, Darren Fletcher backed him. Ed Woodward's backed Solskjaer and the Glazers backed Solskjaer. The Glazers have to step up and get rid of Ole. To be honest with you though, I think the board are too scared to get rid of Solskjaer. Well, that's what Jamie Carragher reckons anyway, but Carragher has come out and said Manchester United need a change, but he does feel sorry for Ole. And Manchester United enjoyed a very good summer transfer window this year. We spent, £141 million? We brought Sancho in, Varane in, re-signed Cristiano Ronaldo after 12 years, and obviously we brought Tom Heaton in. This season is Solskjaer's third full season as Man United manager. And I did mention at the start of this season that this season was going to be massive for Ole because he's got big expectations to exceed. Well, at the start of this season, Solskjaer said his ambition was to win the Premier League this season. We haven't won the Premier League since 2013. Solskjaer got given a new contract in the summer until 2024. There's an option of a further year. And we certainly made a mistake giving Solskjaer that new contract. If Solskjaer is still Manchester United manager in December, he'll be celebrating 3 years in charge of the club, but I'm very, very sceptical that he'll be here in December. He certainly won't get until the end of this season. Neville reckons he'll get until the end of the season. Solskjaer got appointed in December 2018 to replace Mourinho. He's been permanent Manchester United manager since March 2019. And the reason he got the job permanently back in March 2019 was reflecting how well he did as the interim manager. These positives regarding Ole, like I've mentioned so many times before, there's not all negatives regarding him. We have enjoyed good periods under Ole, where we've actually seen consistency. I like the way Solskjaer develops the youth. Solskjaer has made good signings as Manchester United manager. So far, he's signed, 14 players. Manchester United have spent like 441 million under the Solskjaer era. Yes, some progress has been made under him because Ole's got us to semi-finals. He got us to 3 semi-finals in his first full season. Last season he got us to the EFL Cup semi-final. Last season he got us to the FA Cup quarter-final. And last season he got us to the Europa League final. And that was his first major final as Man United manager. Plus last season he got us a second place finish. And in his first full season he got us a third place finish. And Solskjaer's more or less giving everybody their chances to express themselves, including the young players. But the reason Solskjaer has lasted as long as he has done is because he's a legend of the club. Disregarding being a legend of the club, I can assure he would have gone a while ago. He's no proven pedigree as a manager. Plus, his decision making concerns all United fans because analysing the vast majority of the games he's managed at Man United, he's been tactically naive. When Solskjaer sacked, he'll be the 4th permanent manager to be sacked since Ferguson because we've already sacked 3 managers since Ferguson. We sacked Moyes after 10 months. We finished 7th under the Moyes era. We sacked Louis van Gaal after 2 years despite him winning the FA Cup. And we sacked Jose Mourinho after 2.5 years. Mourinho had one good season because he won 3 trophies in his first season, didn't he? And he also got us a 2nd place finish. But the reasons it didn't work out under Mourinho is because he had bad disputes with the board, bad disputes with the top players, and in general the board weren't backing the signings that Mourinho wanted to recommend in. So there you go. But it's all gone wrong at Manchester United since Ferguson retired, and a lot of United fans predicted it was all going to go wrong when he retired. Ferguson brought success to Manchester United. He won 30 odd trophies, including 13 Premier League titles. But Ferg didn't settle in straight away because he didn't win out in his first 4 years at Man United. And Alex Ferguson was a very long-serving manager. He endured 27 years at Manchester United. But revert back to what I've said before, no one's going to replicate what Ferguson did at the club at Manchester United. Not in my lifetime, anyway. Manchester United are obviously going to sell players next year. Donny van de Beek's going next year because Van de Beek doesn't get enough game time at Manchester United. Prior to the game against Liverpool, Solskjaer did admit that Donny van de Beek is frustrated and disappointed over his situation at Old Trafford. I don't think Solskjaer wants Donny van de Beek. Well, earlier on this season, Van de Beek was furious with Solskjaer as he was left on the bench in Man United's win over Villarreal. Reflecting on that, he said Donny van de Beek will try to force a January transfer away from Man United. Earlier on this season, Van de Beek told Solskjaer his best position. He reckons he'd be best served operating as a number 6 or as a number 8. And he spoke about his Man United future in an exclusive interview with Rio Ferdinand. Earlier on this season, it said Donny van de Beek's agent is said to be working hard on finding a new club for his client. Many clubs have been in for Van de Beek, and Fabrizio Romano revealed earlier on this season that Van de Beek is planning to leave the club in January. He's endured a difficult 18 months at Man United. This season is Van de Beek's second full season at Man United. Got him for £40 million with add-ons included. He's got a contract with Man United till 2025 and he's versatile. He can play in 3 different roles. I think next year Lingard will go as well because, like I mentioned earlier, he doesn't really get in the team. Earlier on this season, Lingard rejected a Man United contract offer because of 2 players. Well, earlier on this season, Lingard rejected a Man United contract over playing time concerns. Lingard's current contract at Man United expires at the end of the season. ESPN said earlier on this season that Lingard is a target for Barcelona and AC Milan. Lingard's been part of the club for a long time. The second half of last season, he enjoyed a 4-month loan spell with West Ham. I definitely think Martial's going next year. Like I said earlier, Martial doesn't really get in the team, plus he's not good enough to represent the club. Martial's actually out with injury at the moment. Before the start of this season, though, it said Solskjaer refuses to sell Martial. Solskjaer seems to have a lot of trustworthy in him. Don't forget, Solskjaer was the one that gave Martial that number 9 shirt. Now, there's been quite a few clubs in for Martial earlier on this season. It said Newcastle wanted him. They made formal contact with Martial's representatives. As you all know, Newcastle are planning to spend big after the Saudi Arabians taking over them. Earlier on this season, it said Barcelona are considering making a move next year. Martial was linked with Atletico Madrid last summer. Also, Martial's been a long-term target for Tottenham. Don't forget, Martial rejected the chance to join Lyon on loan on deadline day, and before the start of this season, Inter Milan wanted Martial to replace Lukaku because Lukaku went back to Chelsea. Martial has been at Manchester United for 6 years. He's got 3 years left on his contract. The best season I recall Martial having was his debut season under Louis van Gaal. Last season he was out with a knee injury for a while. For us to sell Martial next year, Man United will demand close to the 54 million they originally paid for him from Monaco back in 2015. Cavani, I think he's going next year. I can't say I want him to leave though, because he's made an impact since he's come in. Came off the bench against Liverpool yesterday, had a good chance, should have scored really. Cavani was out with injury earlier on this season. Cavani's got under a year left on his contract at Man United. Back in May, he signed a 1-year contract extension and he receives over £200,000 a week. Earlier on this season, it said Real Madrid wanted Cavani on loan in January, and Barcelona may reignite their interest because Barcelona tried to get Cavani on deadline day in the summer transfer window. Cavani's got a good pedigree behind him, won a lot of silverware when he was at PSG, and when he was at PSG he was a long-serving player. Juan Mata's definitely going next year. Juan Mata's contract at Man United expires next summer. Earlier on this year, Mata signed that 1-year contract extension. I can't understand why we extended Mata's contract for another year, because Mata doesn't get in our team, plus he's lost that yard of pace and he's aging up. Mata has had a good career though at Man United. Mata's been at Manchester United for 7.5 years. He's made over 200 appearances in all competitions and he's scored over 50 goals for Man United. First part of last season, Mata rejected an 18 million a year contract offer to play in Saudi Arabia. We got Juan Mata from Chelsea for 40 million back in 2014. I want us to sell Fred next year, like I've said. I think Matic is going next year. Last time I read up about Matic, I heard that Barcelona wanted him. I think Telles will go next year as well, because he doesn't really get in the team. Telles only plays when Luke Shaw's not available. Yes, I do like Telles. He's a good player, but he doesn't play, like I said. Jones, Bailly and Dalot, I think, will go next year. So there you go. But reflecting on the 5-0 loss to Liverpool, Manchester United are now winless in their last 4 league games. Solskjaer, he's still facing a daunting run of fixtures. Tottenham in the league at the weekend, then Man City in the league after Tottenham. We've got Arsenal and Chelsea coming up soon, and I can assure we're going to drop points in those games. So anyway guys, that's everything to update you today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.